Hi, welcome back to the Scent Advocate. Tonight we're talking about fragrances that are perfect for spring that you may not have considered. I will warn you in advance that at least one of them appears to be out of stock through the retailer. Doesn't mean you can't acquire it. It just means that if you do, you may have to pay an upcharge. So wanted to let you know about that in advance. What is tonight's beverage of choice? Champagne. Not really. It's domestic, so it's sparkling wine. Yes, very, very good. By the way, this is Dr. Constantine Frank. It is a sparkling wine out of New York State, Keuka Lake in the Finger Lakes region specifically. In case you know it, I absolutely love that house. Okay, let's jump right in. Our first fragrance for the evening is Caprice de Julie by Chabaud. This is newer to my collection. I just fell in love with it. This is a 2022 release. Let's just get that back. There we go. A 2022 release. It's 100 ml. It is an EDP and it goes for about $160. Now, other Chabaud fragrances come in a deeper colored bottle with the juice being a bit deeper colored as well. The top is different. This is a plastic top. And I don't know if this bottle style was, I don't know, had something to do with the fragrances themselves, and some got one bottle type and some got another bottle type. I don't know, but evidently it does not have to do with the strength necessarily of the fragrance. Okay, the nose behind this, of course, is Sophie Chabaud. The notes in this are fruit salad, blueberry, blackberry, ozone, watermelon, edelweiss, musk, and sandalwood. So this is, it's a very green berry fragrance to me. Kind of strong in its life force. It's a young berry on a bush. It's got perseverance, like a prolific blackberry bush. You know how year over year, at least where I am in upstate New York, these kinds of bushes just, you think they they get mowed over or whatever, all kinds of, deer traffic, things like that. They grow right back in the spring. These things are they're tough to kill, and that's a great thing. And so you get that kind of young berry fruit, but it's not overly done or synthetic. It's very realistic. At the same time, there's that strong green accord that feels like it's almost like a cut grass or a flower cut, like a oh gosh, what are the flowers? Like a tulip or daffodil. And there's a floral there. I think it's the edelweiss. Very subtle floral. The musk is dry. The musk is white, and the sandalwood is dry. There's watermelon, but it's an underripe watermelon. So don't go thinking this is like some kind of, well-known hard candy that's famously watermelon in flavor. It's not that at all. In fact, I don't know, have you ever heard of this? My mother used to put salt on watermelon. It didn't matter if it was an underripe watermelon. In fact, I think she liked that more. But in any event, it has that kind of very juicy watermelon feel, but not too sweet. Absolutely beautiful. I would wear this to work. I would wear this to go to the gym. It is very, very versatile. I will tell you that it starts out feeling like an EDT. And before you know it, you realize, oh boy, this thing packs a punch. It's got it sneaks up on you, the strength. And it's beautiful. What you get in the dry down though seems to grow in strength as the hours go by. Beautiful stuff, Chabaud, Caprice de Julie. Next, let's take a sip. Okay. Now this one's a bit of a cheat because I don't have a full bottle. I have been contemplating a full bottle for a really long time. Why haven't I pulled the trigger? I don't know. This stuff is gorgeous. It's Pane and Pear by Elizianne. Oh gosh, you guys, this is so nice. I have to do it. I think it's because for 100 ml, it's $285, but I really like it. It's a fruit-forward, kind of freshy to start out with, but it settles into an almost incense vibe. Oh goodness. So it's a 2024 release. It's an X straight, which I think is important, right? The more bang for the buck thing. So it's pear, violet, cassis, apple, chamomile, melon, lily of the valley, whipped cream, ambroxan, ambretolide, sandalwood, and vanilla. The nose behind this, by the way, is Jessie Park. Yeah, so this is an incense style sandalwood going on. Do you remember the Pier 1 stores, but not now, like years ago in the 80s, when they used to sell like the stick incense, sometimes the cones? This was like the stick incense, the sandalwood flavored, scented one. Whenever I talk about, scented things, except for, perfumes, I talk about it being flavored. Like, remember the scratch and sniff stickers years ago? I'm dating myself here, you guys. Total Gen X thing. I used to say, oh, it's pizza flavored, it's rose flavored, it's not flavored. Don't eat these things. Anyway, it was a beautiful sandalwood scented incense, and that's the kind of sandalwood you get in this. It's really interesting stuff. So this incense meets kind of a juicy apple and a strong melon going on here. Very, very elevated melon, right? This isn't, it's not like a body splash melon here. We're talking about a melon that's, it's a sophisticated melon, like all melons should be. So it's a sophisticated smelling melon. It doesn't smell overly sweet or fruity, okay? It's got the strength, the smokiness of that incense style sandalwood. Very comforting. Oh, it's absolutely stunning. It makes me feel a little bit, like, what's the word I'm looking for? A little bit bohemian. Yeah, a little bit like that. Little flower child-esque, but modern. Gorgeous stuff. Pane and Pear. Where's the pear in this? Well, I guess it's there. I have a hard time picking up a pear note. Am I the only one? Can you guys tell me in the comments? I hear a lot of talk about pear. But I gotta tell you, it is seldom that I've smelled a pear. I don't love pears to eat, but I love the idea of pears, like a pear tart, pear fragrances. Sure. I don't like the texture of pears. There's something about, not all pears, but many pears. They're a little bit grainy. It feels like there's just it's a texture thing with me. Kind of like some apples are a little grainy, like Golden Delicious or I can't remember what the other one. No, the Red Delicious and those. I didn't care for them. Same thing with pears. Anyway, I suppose there's pear in this, but pear to me doesn't jump out as a major note, and that's just, it could just be my olfactory system that it doesn't, it doesn't really scream out at me. I get a lot more melon in this than I do pear, but let me know in the comments what your perception of pear fragrances is. And keep in mind that guidance from Amouage does not work on me. So if that's your go-to and you say, oh, think of guidance, I just can't, because the whole thing just did not work. I respect it. Absolutely. I think it's very nice. It's just not for me. So if you have another example, if you want to point to another fragrance, a lot of times if I ask a question, you guys say, oh, well, think of this, or it's like that. And just guidance, that won't work on me. Okay. Pane and Pear by Elizianne. Beautiful stuff. Moving on, we've got, another cheat. Dandelion Fig by Shay and Blue. I have been sitting on this one also, and this one I know why. No, I don't. No, I really don't. This is gorgeous. Oh, maybe I do. It seems to be discontinued. Let me know in the comments if you know otherwise, but you can still get decants of it. I saw that. But a full bottle, I don't know, and I don't want to pay $1,000 for it, but I do like it. So it's a 2017 release. About $90 for 100 ml. Could that be right? Maybe my notes are wrong. So it's dandelion, lemongrass, tomato leaf, juniper, and fig leaf. This starts out with much more sharp bitterness, and it just settles into, a really nice fragrance. Yellow dandelion, a hint of sharp tomato leaf. Think of Southeast Asian style lemongrass, that very fragrant, really beautiful. It's citrusy, but it's not too acidic. It's just lovely. It's like a cross between a really high quality Italian parsley and lemon. If the two had a baby, it would be lemongrass with a hint of ginger. That's what you get out of this. Oh, just enough fig leaf to make you think of sin. Oh yeah. This is beautiful stuff. Why didn't I get a full bottle? Oh my gosh. You'll have fun wearing this one, let me tell you, on a warm, humid evening. It's strong like the feelings in the air on a night like that. This is gorgeous stuff. Very stirring. Beautiful. Dandelion and fig. If you don't like fig, this is not that kind of fig. It's not going to make you think of, it's not that typical fig accord. This is truly a fig leaf. It's a very green expression of it. In fact, more green fig than this. This one is Velocicos by Diptyque, which to me is a very green fig, but it is without question a fig. Dandelion and fig is a completely different animal. It's even less figgy than this, if you can imagine, but it's beautifully complementary to that dandelion. Gorgeous stuff. Okay, next, my guilty pleasure, and this one is not a cheat. It's Incarnata by Anatole Labreton. Beautiful, beautiful, nostalgic feeling fragrance. This I like to wear to bed. I wear this one just for me. Why? Because it smells. It smells like my grandmother's makeup bag. It just does. But I love it, and it's beautiful for spring. This makes me feel comforted, loved, secure, like when I was with my grandparents as a child. An amazing experience. They were just wonderful people, and everything was magical with them. And when I hugged my grandmother, this is what I could smell her makeup, and I used to sneak into her makeup bag just to smell the cosmetics. Sometimes I'd play in them, but it was just the smell. It was her. I loved it. So this is a 2015 release. It goes for about $125. It's an EDP, and this is 50 ml. The notes in this are raspberry, violet, rhododendron, orris, rose, myrrh, suede, amber, benzoin, and vanilla. This is a classic orris cosmetic fragrance. The raspberry is not a heavy raspberry at all. It's very, very well combined so that none of these... Yeah, I mean, if you think about it, you get a suede. If you think about it, you can get some, rose in there, but very beautifully combined, very lipsticky, very, I don't know, very comforting. Lipstick and a kiss from my grandmother. This is comforting stuff. Incarnata by Anatole Labreton. All right, moving on. And speaking of lipstick, let's do Maison Margiela's Lipstick On. Folks, if you know, you know. This is a stunner. Now, this is the one that appears to be discontinued. I have been very, very careful with this one because when I bought it a few years back, I knew it was likely to be discontinued. I shouldn't say I knew. I kind of figured based on its availability. And I don't remember it ever being that popular, and I don't understand why. I think just Maison Margiela at the time was coming out with all these, kind of summery, gardeny, and then aquatic, like clean fragrances, those that were just very, very popular at the time. And I don't think like the lipstick fragrances were those kind of iris forward, orris-y, powdery fragrances. I don't think they were that popular at the time. But what a gem. Oh my goodness. This is so beautiful. If you like purple florals, okay, you gotta see if you can get your nose on this one. So it's a 2015 release. This is 100 ml. I think this is an EDT, but honestly, I can't read the bottom. It's so small. But anyway, if you wanted to buy this, you could, but you are going to spend between $335 and $700 for one of these bad boys for about as much as I've used out of it. That's what it seems to be going for when I poked around. And this is heliotrope, bergamot, neroli, iris, galbanum, orange blossom, tonka bean, bourbon, vanilla, and patchouli. But it's heliotrope, it's iris. It's a little bit of tonka. It's beautiful. The citrus is just there to kind of round it out. It's not a citrus forward fragrance at all. It's like a drunk night in Paris years ago when Paris was still pink, You add champagne, and some kind of sweet chaser, like, an aperitif or something. There's a suede in here too that I get. A hint of masculine type patchouli, the expression of patchouli that I've experienced in men's cologne, like traditional men's cologne. A little bit of a heavy patchouli, just to kind of anchor it so it's not too lipsticky. And there's a sweet confection going on. And it's not in the notes, neither is the suede, but it's there. A sweet confection like strawberry shortcake, but not too sweet, just light, airy, a hint of sweetness, or maybe a Madeleine that's got like some berry component to it. I don't know if you could put berries in a Madeleine, but if you could, that would be the confection. There you go. Absolutely stunning. Very classically beautiful, completely different, I might add, from the Makeup Accord in this one. This is just, I think that suede and the confection really, really set it apart. Beautiful stuff. This also has heliotrope, and I think that may also make a big difference in the fragrance. So this is Maison Margiela. I can't talk tonight. Maison Margiela's Lipstick On. All right, next, this one had me a little bit disappointed, and then it grew on me. So I bought this fragrance a while ago, and it was a blind buy. And it was, I would have told you it was a mistake. But like I said, I've grown to love it. It is Petite Chérie by, I think it's Goutal. Very cute bottle. Very classic looking. I love it. The fragrance on my skin, I just did not like it. Just didn't. But then the more it sits, the more it develops into what is undeniably pleasing for me. It's a floral. Okay, so let me just tell you. It's an EDT, by the way, a 1998 release. I paid about $70 for it, and it's a 50 ml. So this is Rose, Vanilla, Peach, Lilac, Hedione, Musk, and Pear. Think of, in the opening, think of flowers and vines. What are those flowers that grow like up a fence? I can't think of the name. They look kind of like trumpets, and they close. I forget what they're called. If I think of them, I'll put them in the comments. But it reminds me of that, with like a hint of also honeysuckle. You know how honeysuckle is sweet, but there's also just a hint of tartness in there. And the tartness is from the green part, not the sweet flowers. So it's that going on. It makes me think of flowers and vines. It makes me think of, you know, long curly locks on my little girl, just kind of bouncing around outside in the sunshine, you know, wearing something white and flowy, like linen, you know, just in the garden playing, full of life and energy, and there's mystery everywhere, and beautiful little hummingbirds just kind of buzzing around looking for sugar water. It's very sweet. Not sugary sweet, but I mean, it's precious, and it makes me think of my child. And maybe it's something suggested by the title Petite Chérie, but it is a darling fragrance, and I'm so glad I didn't gift it away, because I really did grow to love it, and it's positively perfect for the spring. And is that it, friends? That is it. I can't believe I went through them all so quickly. I guess it's not quickly. We're 23 minutes in. It feels like just moments. Maybe it was the champagne. Who can tell? So let me know in the comments whether you've heard of these fragrances, whether you've tried them. You know, when I can, I like to give you, you know, selections from my collection, or decants that I'm seriously considering buying, if possible, that maybe you haven't heard of before, not everyone is talking about. So I hope I did that tonight. Let me know in the comments again, you know, what you think. And if you are not yet a subscriber, please consider subscribing to the channel. If you enjoyed the video, give me a like, and I'll see you in the next one.